Certainly, my respect for teachers is as high as it can be since I've spent my career in teaching. Where am I? Well, certainly, I had advocated very clearly at the board meeting when this came up that I wanted to have partial raises, and if we could, go the whole way to have the full raises. However, I needed to be mindful that at that moment in time, we had two things. One, to address balancing the budget, and number two, we had to address whether we would have more people laid off. Now, this is not something that's unique to our school district. Again, Florida has lost 78,000 jobs this year, the most in the United States. If we had to come up with $72 million in raises. Now, did we know this was coming? Of course we did. However, when you're presented with the decision at that time, what I felt was the responsible decision was to open up the contract, because what opening up the contract does is it allows the union and the superintendent to sit down and come up with cost-saving measures. It has given me and other board members opportunities to come up with cost-saving measures in that time. Just recently, I voted against the superintendent's item to lay off more people. And when I spoke to the staff and the deputy superintendent, my position was this: the whole rationale for me not granting the full raise so is that we didn't lay people off. And if you're going to have a situation where we're putting people out of the system when there are no jobs to be had, I felt that that would be irresponsible. So unfortunately, that is where we are. But again, we're in a situation where you see other things happening outside the district. FIU has cut 23-degree programs. The public defender is not going to hear thousands of misdemeanor and felony cases. These are things that unfortunately are happening in this community. I do want to mention that we have, and I think this is very important to mention, we've had declining enrollment. To keep the same number of people when you had so many fewer students, in 05 we had 365,000 students. In fiscal year 08 we had 347,000 students. That's a loss of $97 million. We lose, for every student that leaves our district, we lose $7,000. The state funding cuts we've had due to lower sales tax collections, that's been a loss of $68 million. Also, we have a situation where our diesel fuel, where we've gone up from, it looks like 9.9 million to 12.3. There have been increases in everything, including the cost of milk. We have to look at the reality of the situation. Obviously, I would love to be able to give a raise at a time when people are losing their jobs. I will do my very best. We still have time to make that happen, where we can give partial raises. Thank you.
Dr. Karp talks about what would be irresponsible. I'll tell you what's irresponsible. First of all, two wrongs don't make a right. Listing several other government agencies that are mismanaging their monies does not make it okay for us to mismanage our money. Miami-Dade College has weathered this storm because they manage their money without making cuts, without making layoffs. I think we need to look at their model. Look at the fact that Mr. Padron, who's an economist, saw what was going on with the bubble, the housing bubble burst 2 years ago. The question was, the question was not, is it going to burst? The question is, how hard are we going to land? 2 years ago, Dr. Karp signed this contract. His is the second signature on this that tells the teachers, you're going to get $40,000 sometime this year as your raise. His is the second signature on it. You don't realize it, but there's these two little asterisks next to the salary schedule that says, as will be implemented as noted. Well, where is it noted? You had to turn the page to find out that that increase was contingent on $350 million additional dollars from the state in funding. Now that's over 2 years, so $175 million per year on average. The most we've ever received was $125 million. This was a lie from the beginning, and this was simply put out, it was rushed out with all kinds of accolades in the media to keep the teachers in the classroom, because on October 16th, We had thousands of teachers take the street in anger and in frustration, in desperation. This contract was rushed out to keep the teachers quiet and to make the public think that they were doing something for us. It was a lie from the beginning. We called it 2 years ago on WINZ, myself and Soresta Smith back there. We were interviewed by Jim Delaney. We said this was a bunk contract, and we've seen that it is. Now, what we need to do, man, we need to deliver the raises to the teachers and to the support staff now that we promised. We have 294 administrators downtown at a cost of $108 per child in the school district. Broward does the same job administratively for $36. That's 3 times the number. Cut 200 administrators downtown, you'll have your $27 million. Put that into your health care. I've looked at the numbers of the teachers that are moving through these steps. They're going from year to year. We will save, if we don't hire any first-year teachers and we let the expensive veteran teachers retire, we will save anywhere from $6 million to $36 million in delivering their raise. I don't know where they're getting this number when they say $72 million, but I'll tell you what's irresponsible. That's telling your teachers you're going to take care of them year after year, and then finding one excuse after another until they're going bankrupt, until they're spending their credit cards to the max, until they're moving out of this county. That's irresponsible for this community.